Hey, how are you? I'm doing great. My name is Tamika Collins, and this is my YouTube channel. And we are reading the Bible from Genesis to Revelations, and we are on chapter 25. Okay. Recapping 24, it was a long chapter. Recapping 24, Abraham is about to die. He has given his wealth to Isaac, and he has made one of his servants promise that he will not let Isaac marry a Canaanite woman, that he has to go back to where Abraham is from to get a wife for him there. The servant promises, he goes, he stops at a well, he prays, something about that well because the Lord is the living water. Yes, he is. And he prays a specific prayer. And praying that specific prayer, he gets specifically what he asked for. Here comes Rebecca coming down the road with her water jug. Thank you so much, Lord, for running water and water bottles. I do appreciate it because I like my water super cold. Anyway, that's besides the point. So, Rebecca does exactly what the servant asks in his prayer. So he says, hey, this is the one, So Rebecca says, hey, you are a guest. Come, we have plenty of room in the inn. And we're going to feed you and, so welcome you with open arms. But before he does all of that, once he gets there, before he does all of that, he lets them know, hey, this is what my purpose is. My purpose is here to find a wife for my master, who is Isaac. And they are more than welcomed for Rebecca to be the wife of Isaac. And so he's like, well, hey, she got to leave with me immediately. And they're like, hold on, well, let's wait. Let's ask her if she's ready to go. And she's ready to go. She's ready to meet her husband. Okay. So we at chapter 25. Abraham dies. Abraham married another wife whose name was Keturah. She gave birth to Zimran, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. Dedan's descendants were the Asherites, Letushites, and Leumites. Midian's sons were Ephah, Hanok, Abida, and Eldar. These were the descendants of Abraham through Keturah. Abraham gave everything he owned to his son Isaac. But before he died, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines, sent them off to a land in the east away from Isaac. Abraham lived 175 years old, and then he died at a ripe old age, having lived a long and satisfying life. He breathed his last breath and joined his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, where near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar, the Hittite. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites and where he had buried his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who settled near Beer-lahai-roi in Negev. Ishmael's descendants. This is the account of the family of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here's a list by their names and clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Neboeth, followed by Kedar and Adbel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Napish, and Kedema. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of the 12 tribes named after them, listed according to the places they settled and camped. Ishmael lived 137 years old. Then he breathed his last breath and joined his ancestors. Ishmael's descendants accompanied the region from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. There they lived in open hostility towards all of their relatives. Became pregnant with twins, but she, hold on, did I miss something? There they lived. So then he breathed his last breath, joined his ancestors. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. There they lived in open hostility towards all their relatives. This is the count of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean from Paddan Aram, and the sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins, but the two children struggled with each other in her womb. So she went to ask the Lord about it. Why is this happening to me? She asked. And the Lord told her, the sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son. And when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she did indeed have twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur coat. So she named him Esau. Then the other twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so she named him Jacob. Isaac was 67 years old when the twins were born. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. All right, Jacob replied, but trade me your rights as the firstborn son. Look, I'm dying of starvation, said Esau. What good is my birthright to me now? But Jacob said, first you must swear that your birthright is mine. So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Being hungry. He was hangry. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil soup. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn. 26. A severe famine now struck the land, and as it happened before in Abraham's time, so Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, do not go down to Egypt, but do as I tell you. Live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will bless you and I will be with you and bless you. I couldn't read. Sorry. I hereby confirm that I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, just as solemnly promised, as I solemnly promised Abraham, your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars of the sky, and I will give them all the lands and through your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commands, decrees, and instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife Rebekah, he said, "She is my sister." Once again, he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," he thought, "but they will kill me to get her because she is so beautiful." But some time came later, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out his window and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah. Immediately, Abimelech called to Isaac and exclaimed, "She is obviously your wife. Why did you say she is your sister?" "Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get to her," Isaac replied. "How could you do this to us?" Abimelech exclaimed. Once again, "One of my people might have easily taken her for your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of a great sin." Then Abimelech issued a public proclamation: "Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death." When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he had planted, for the Lord had blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. He acquired so many flocks of sheep, goats, herds of cattle, the servants that the Philistines became jealous of him. So the Philistines filled up all of Isaac's wells with dirt. These were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father Abraham. Finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. "Go somewhere else," he said, "for you have become too powerful for us." So Isaac moved away from Gerar Valley, where he set up tents and settled down. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistines had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac also restored the names of Abraham had given them. Isaac's servants also dug the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. "This is our water," they said, and they argued over it. With Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. Look at that, 3. This time, there was no dispute over it, so Isaac named that place Rehoboth, which means open space. For he said, "At last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land." From there, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him at that night of the arrival. "I am the God of your father Abraham," he said. "Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and I will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant." Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord. He set up his camp at that place, and his servants dug another well. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor Ahuzath, and also Phicol, his army commander. "Why have you come here?" Isaac asked. "You obviously hate me, since you kicked me off your land." They replied, "We can plainly see that the Lord is with you, so we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Let us make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you on your way in peace. Now look how the Lord has blessed you." So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate the treaty, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again, and they left him in peace. That very day, Isaac's servants came and told them about the new well they had dug. "We found water," they exclaimed. So Isaac named the well Sheba, which means oath. And to this day, the town that grew up there is called Beersheba, which means well of oath. At the age of 40, Esau married 2 Hittite wives, Judith, the daughter of Beri, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon. But Esau's wives made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. All right. See you later.